Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rebel Chum channel. Today we're going to start with a new series of videos. It's called Saber Building Block or Saber Building Vlog. So what I will do is actually I'm going to showcase on the weekly basis a new video where we're going to build something new. And in this case we're going to start off building these blade builder lightsabers into a more functional cosplay prop slash display piece, which is very affordable. Now what I'm gonna do is, what I have done so far is very rudimentary, so it's absolutely shoddy work, but that is just because I don't have the tools at the moment. So tomorrow when I go around for some job interviews or meeting recruiters I should say, I actually gonna purchase some very basic electronics equipment that's gonna help me building these sabers and bringing them to the next level. So in this case we have these Kanan Jarrus blade builders lightsaber. What I've done to it is I've installed an 186050 battery holder with battery, a latching switch, and a in-hilt LED, which is I believe 3 or 6 watt, and just this very rudimentary. I don't have the full proper equipment yet, but I'm just gonna showcase what I'm gonna do the next few months and going forward. First of all, I'm gonna start off a small Etsy shop where I'm gonna put these things up for sale. Now, first of all, they will be going slightly higher than retail. So let's say if this thing is going retail $15, I made put it up for $20. That also covers all the cost of the installing electronics, nothing more. And for each of the install, initially I will showcase every install on video, or I also show the progression per saber. So I'm gonna start up with these blade builders because they're very cheap and they're very affordable for what you get. So you get a nice decently looking hilt. It's of course it's made of plastic, but it's for a very tight budget. So if you don't want to spend much, if you don't want to spend even the money for a Ultra Sabers grab pack, this is the range I'm heading for. And as I said, it's just a hobby. It's just purely to keep myself busy and occupied and showcase new stuff on the channel, and actually grow my own skill set, soldering and tinkering around with these kind of stuff during the weekend. It's not really to make money of it, it's just purely because I like the hobby and I want to continue doing it, and I want to get a little bit more support on the channel by doing these kind of things back for the community, and basically make people happy. Plus I can maybe make a little bit of money to keep buying lightsabers to do reviews for. Anyway, so what we got here is very rudimentary. So this is absolutely super crude. I'm gonna buy a small Dremel set, and I'm gonna buy some different electronics because for these blade builders, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a 5 watt like these small LEDs, not the bigger star LED LEDs because of the heat, etc. But we got a latching switch here. We got a 3 or 6 watts LED inside. Here is a blue LED. It's pretty bright. It has the 18650 battery holder inside. Now at the moment it rattles. I'm still in the design phase. I got a whole bunch of these bought already, and we're gonna play around with them. But and this is basically how it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna replace the switch for tactile switches, which either is going to be on the side or on this control box, like very small, very nicely snuck away, making sure the design is limited as possible. This whole unit will be probably, I'm looking at different options. I have some ideas how I want to do it with the battery holder, etc. Make it really nice and still very cheap and affordable. These will of course not be for dueling. These will be for cosplay or display, or for little kids to play with. It must always fit in the budget. Like if this comes close to a Ultra Sabers grab pack in terms of price, it defeats its purpose. So it will remain very cheap and affordable, and it will be for sale on Etsy. Now of course, before I'm selling anything, I will make videos showcasing how the soldering work is, etc. to make sure it has a certain amount of quality and it has been controlled by other people. I will ask opinions from other guys in the market that are saber installers and etc. Now, I'm not really aim to be a dedicated saber installer. It always will be a hobby for me. At this point of time, I don't really want to go in a way, let's say Jordan or Shamim. That is not really what I want to do at this point in the hobby yet. Who knows in the future, but I don't really put my focus on installing to make a living out of it. It's just installing with covering all the cost of installing it and not so much on labor, and just enjoy installing it, play with the lightsabers, help people out. So that's also immediately a shout out if you're living in Asia, and that can be anywhere in China, Singapore, Australia, wherever, Japan, Hong Kong. If you have a lightsaber that you want to have fixed, or you have a lightsaber that you want to have installed by me, you can send it to me, including the electronics. I just install it for free and send it back to you. So you only have to pay for the shipping, and that's it. And all the electronics, the hardware, and the blade, etc. Of course, you need to have yourself, but I will help to install it. And of course, it's free of charge. So you also have to understand the warranty is till the door. So I install it for you. I will make a video of it live. You can see all the soldering nice and neatly. I don't will mess it up, and then send it back to you in a working stage. If I really mess it up, of course, I will be involved in making sure that we work it out. If a soundboard is soldered improperly. Now, I have to say, if you want to send something to me, send me a personal message on my Facebook page or on my YouTube page, and then we work something out. And then please don't come with very complicated soundboards. keep it as easy as up to Nana Biscotti version 4. Beyond that, I'm not ready for that. So don't come with igniters or NAC boards or Plector Lab boards. That wouldn't be a good timing for me to do anything like that. I didn't prove myself yet to be very capable for such a complex boards with very minuscule wiring and a high, very difficult way to solder that stuff up. Either way, so we're gonna start up with the most basic elements. So this blade builder, for example. So the next version will be different, and that will be in the next video, and we're gonna just showcase the evolution of my skill sets soldering up this kind of stuff, and actually come up with intriguing, nice designs for existing, let's say, plastic blade builder sabers, and after maybe some other time, and then we're gonna start with the ultra sabers, and then move along from there. So that's really cool. So yeah, it's pretty fun actually. I can put a blade in there, and actually pretty bright as well, but I need to fix the blade holder. Plus, these ones are not really meant for dueling, so I don't want to go that far that it has a blade holder in there, because the blade is pretty heavy and it's just land too much. No, once you put a blade in there, people will try to smack it and it will break. So to avoid that, we're just gonna come with a solution that is just for display cosplay pieces. Not everybody and every saber needs to have a blade in there. But nonetheless, I also have to say this blade builder's cane and hilt is one of the more accurate sizing of hilts. It's a little bit slightly thicker than maybe it should be, but it's not far off actually. This is one of the more accurate sabers that from the blade builders line. Actually, not bad at all. Honestly, it's a very comfortable hilt, and especially now I've put this button here. It's very nice for ignition, and I really enjoy it. So of course, super rudimentary. You can see all the damage here. That is just because I just hacksaw it today. The next one will be much more clean without any damage. I'm also gonna do weathering on it, so actually you can see weathering and damage. That's I'm gonna do with the Dremel, and then I'm gonna use birch wood oil or paint to nicely weather it like a real lightsaber. So again, if you're interested in a free install job on one of your beater sabers or stunt sabers, nothing too really fancy, you trust me in doing that, you can ship me your saber and then I will install it and send it back to you, of course. So just yeah, hook me up in a message and then we're gonna play with that. Either way, I'm really happy with this progression. It's gonna be a lot of fun, especially if I get the right tools like a nice little Dremel and a slightly better soldering iron with a smaller tip, which I'm gonna buy tomorrow, and buy a lot of electronics, cheap electronics that are very affordable. Keep all this affordable, and I will also create an Etsy page and show you the link to my Etsy page. And my Etsy page is again is not to make money, it's just to help me fund more sabers to buy so I can do the reviews and continue making lightsaber reviews, videos, etc. And maybe in the future also cosplay items. Anyway, that's it. I hope you liked it. It was fun to do this. It was a quick, of course, to build, but nonetheless, I like to do it. So see you in the next video, and as always, stay scummy.